Hello, everybody. All right, so we're going to continue with lesson 10.4 today. Use time intervals. Our essential question we need to answer by the end of our lesson is how can you find a starting time or an ending time when you know the elapsed time? So, from our lesson yesterday, we learned that elapsed time is the amount of time that has passed from the start of an activity to the end of the activity. So let's look at the Unlock the Problem. We're on page 419 of the third grade Go Math textbook. Javier begins working on his ocean project at 1:30 p.m. He spends 42 minutes painting a model of Earth and labeling the oceans. At what time does Javier finish working on his project? All right, so circle the information you need, right? Well, we know he started at 1:30. We know the elapsed time is 42 minutes. So he spends 42 minutes doing those activities. And our question is, at what time does he finish working on his project? Okay, what time does he finish? All right, so again, yesterday we talked about using a number line to find the ending time. So find the time on the number line when Javier started his work project, and then count forward on the number line to add the elapsed time, and draw and label the jumps to show the minutes. So we know he started at 1:30. Remember, we're going to now break 42 minutes into shorter amount of times. So we have to go forward from 1:30, 42 minutes. Well, what happens if we make a big jump of 30 minutes? Well, that would put us at 2 o'clock, right? All right. And we still have 12 minutes to count forward because we've only used 30 of them. So if I take another 10 minutes, I'd be at 2:10 p.m. And now I've used 30, 40 minutes. And now I need to make a jump of 2 minutes. So plus 2, I would now be at 2:12. So the jumps end at 2:12 p.m. So he finishes his project at 2:12 p.m. Okay. So you could have also just counted by tens, gone 10, 20, 30, 40 plus 2. Okay. All right. Well, another way we could have done this is also use the analog clock, and we would have just counted forward. We would have found the starting time, 1:30, and so that's why it says 0 minutes. And we're going to count forward by fives until we reach 42 minutes. So to the 7 would be 5, to the 8 would be 10 minutes, 15 minutes at 9, 20 minutes at the 10, 25 minutes at 11, 30 minutes at the hour. So now we're at 2 o'clock, 35, 40, and now we have to count by ones, 41, 42. So if it goes all the way around, we'd be at 2:12 p.m. Okay. So why did we started at 1:30? Why did it switch to 2 o'clock as the answer? Because once the minute hand reached the top up at 12, we were at the next hour. All right, what about finding starting times? So we just practiced finding the ending times when we know how long something lasts, but how about finding the starting time? So in this situation, they're going to give you when the activity ended, and you'll know how long that activity lasted. So we can subtract to get to the beginning time. So Whitney went swimming in the ocean for 25 minutes. She finished swimming at 11:15. What time did she start swimming? Well, one way, we can use a number line. Find the time on the number line when Whitney finished swimming. So this time we're going to start from the right-hand side of the number line at the time that she finished, and we're going to jump back 25 minutes. All right, so I'm going to start by jumping back 15 minutes because that puts me at 11 o'clock. So I'm subtracting 15 minutes. And so now we're at 11 o'clock. And now I can jump back 5 more minutes and I'd be at 10:55. Remember, we're going backwards. And so that's 20 minutes and 5 more. We'd be at 10:50. So we jumped back to 10:50 a.m. And then again, we could use the analog clock and count backwards. So we start at our end time at 11:15, and we're going to count back 25 minutes. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. And so we started at 11:15. We're going backwards. So once the minute hand reaches the 12, our hour hand is no longer 11. It would be in between 10 and 11. So 10:50 a.m. All right. So number 1, share and show. Use the number line to find the starting time if the elapsed time is 35 minutes. So it ended at 5:10. We have to go back 35 minutes. So I'm going to go back 10 minutes first, and we're at 5 o'clock. Now, if I take another 10 minutes, I would be at 4:50. 50 plus 10 is 60 minutes, right? Which would be 5 o'clock. So we've jumped back 20 minutes right now. Let's go back another 10 minutes, and we would be at 4:40. And I've gone back 10, 20, 30, and I need to jump back 5 more minutes. And 40 take away 5 would be 4:35. So 4:35 p.m. Okay. Number 2, our starting time is 1:40, and our elapsed time, our activity lasts 33 minutes. So they gave me the starting time, right? So if I'm at 1:40, let's count forward by 10. I could go do 20, but I'm going to start at 10. All right, so we're at 1:50 if we jump 10 minutes. Let's jump another 10 minutes, and now we're at 2 o'clock. I have to do 33 minutes, so let's do another 10, and we'd be at 2:10. And that's 30 minutes that we've jumped. Now we need to jump 3 more minutes. And we would be at 2:13 p.m. All right, number 3. Using the analog clock, our starting time is 9:55 a.m. and the elapsed time is 27 minutes. So I see on the clock that we're at 9:55. So when we jump forward 5 minutes, we're at 10 o'clock. Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27. 26, 27. All right, so we are at that second mark. Okay, so we are at 10, 5, 10, 15, 22. 10, 22 a.m. If we start at 9:55 and end at after 27 minutes. Okay. Number 4. Our ending time is 3:05. It took us 40 minutes to get to 3:05. So I'm going to start on the right-hand side for our end time. And I'm going to need to subtract 40 minutes. So I'm going to need to jump back. I'm going to start with minus 5. That puts me at 3 o'clock. Now, I could count back by 5s or 10s or 30s, because 30 plus 5 would be 35. And I know that half of an hour would put me at 2:30. Okay, so now we've jumped back 35 minutes. We need to jump back 5 more. So we'd be at 2:25 p.m. Use the analog clock. We're starting at 8. We end at 8:06, and the time was 16 minutes. Well, I can jump back 1 minute here to get to 8:05. Then I can jump 5 minutes to get to 8. 5 minutes, not 6 minutes. 5 plus 6 is 6 minutes, and now I can jump back 10 more. So 5, 10. So we're going to end at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. And it's got to be the previous hour because we're going backwards on the clock. We're taking that time back. So 7:50 a.m. Okay. Number 6. Actually, I want to go back to number 5. I put these numbers incorrectly. So if we jump back by 1 and then we jump back 5, we are actually have gone 6 minutes. If I jump back 5 more minutes, I'd be at 11. And then if I go 5 more minutes, I've jumped back 16 minutes. Now number 6. Susie began fishing at 10:30 a.m. and fished until 11:10. James finished fishing at 11:45 a.m. He fished for the same length of time as Susie. What time did James start fishing? Okay, well, this is fairly straightforward problem. So Susie, we know she started at 10:30 and she ends at 11:10. So she starts at 10:30. So let's jump forward till we get to 11:10. Well, I know that I can add 30 minutes to 10:30 to get to 11. And from 11 to 11:10 would be 10 more minutes. So 30 plus 10 is 40 minutes fishing. So if James did the same thing, it said he finished fishing. James finished fishing at 11:45 a.m. So let's find 11:45 on our number line, and we're going to jump back 40 minutes. Why are we jumping back 40 minutes? Because the problem told us that he fished the same amount of time as Susie. All right, so let's just go back 40 minutes. Well, if I take away 5, I'm at 11:40. If I take away 10 more, I'd be at 10:30. I've subtracted 15 minutes. Subtract 5 more, I'd be at 10:25. So I've subtracted 20 minutes. I need to subtract 20 more. So I'm just going to go ahead and subtract 20 more from 10:25. I'd be at 10:05. Oh, I just noticed a mistake. These should be 11s, right? 11. 11:05. So James finishes at 11:05 a.m. How do we get there? Susie fished for 40 minutes. So 11:45 minus 40 minutes is 11:05 a.m. Number 7. Dante's surfing lesson began at 2:35 p.m. His lesson lasted 45 minutes. Draw hands on the clock to show the time Dante's surfing lesson ended. So if he started at 2:35, draw hands to show what time it ended. Okay, so I'm going to combine the number line and the analog clock. So 2:35, and it lasted 45 minutes. So let's jump forward by 5 minutes. And now we have to jump forward 40 more minutes. So I'm going to go 20, because 20 plus 40 is the next hour, so 3. I've jumped forward 25 minutes. I need to jump forward 20 more. So he's going to finish at 3:20 p.m. So where's 3:20 on the clock? Well, the little hand is in between the 3 and the 4, and the hour hand, the minute hand, is pointing directly at the 4. So 3:20. All right, the last section, connect to science. If you've ever been to the beach, you have seen the water rise and fall along the shore every day. This change in water level is called the tide. Ocean tides are mostly caused by the pull of the moon and the sun's gravity. High tide is when the water is at its highest level. Low tide is when the water is at its lowest level. In most places on Earth, high tide and low tide each occur about twice a day. And it says use table 8 and 9 to help solve these problems. So I see tide times in Atlantic City, New Jersey, day 1, 2, and 3. So these are 3 different days. Tells me when low tide was in the morning and in the afternoon, and when the high tide was, AM and PM. And that's the same for the other 2 days. So the first morning, number 8, the first morning, Courtney walked on the beach for 20 minutes. She finished her walk 30 minutes before high tide. At what time did she start her walk? So let's start by figuring out 30 minutes before high tide on first morning. So first morning's here, and it says, so we want the AM time, and she finished 30 minutes before high tide. So what's 30 minutes before 9 o'clock? Well, if we went backwards 30 minutes, we'd be at the 6 on the clock. So that would be 8:30 a.m. So she finishes walking at 8:30. She walked for 20 minutes. So 8:30 minus 20 minutes. She started at 8:10 a.m. Okay, let's see if that makes sense. We can check our answer. Okay, I'm going to go start my walk at 8:10. I'm going to walk for 20 minutes. 20 plus 10 puts me at 8:30. Is that 30 minutes before high tide at 9 a.m.? Yeah, because if I add 30 to 8:30, I'd be at 9 a.m. All right, number 9. The third afternoon, so p.m., Courtney started collecting shells at low tide. She collected shells for 35 minutes. At what time did Courtney finish collecting shells? So go to the third day, low tide. So we're using 4:30. And she collected shells for 35 minutes. Okay, well, I know I can jump 30 minutes easily to get to 5 o'clock. And then I just have to jump 5 more minutes. So 5:05. Again, how did I know which one to start? Okay, well, the clues are third day, so day 3, low tide, and it says afternoon. Afternoon means PM hours. So when's low tide on the third day in the afternoon? Low tide in the afternoon is 4:30. So we started at 4:30 and jumped 35 minutes. So 5:05 p.m. All right, so that's it for using time intervals. In our next lesson, we'll practice problem solving with time intervals. So until our next lesson, may the numbers always be in your favor.